Okay. Good morning. It is Artificer Ilari. It is like 10:15 at I was gonna say I'm running late, but this seems to be like my average start time at this point. Um so oops. We're gonna get going. Um let me put it this way. I was running later than I wanted to. I went to check out some of my inventory nonsense to do some inventory management between streams, and then I had to leave my game for adulting reasons, so I didn't actually do an awful lot of inventory management here. Um, so we're gonna do a little bit of that. I think my advisors are also done with whatever they were doing. So I'm gonna zip up to my. I'm gonna go to the Undercroft first of all. There's a couple of things that I want to, strip the useful stuff off of and then sell, and then we're gonna go to the war table, and then we're gonna go to Inquisitor Leon because that's where we're at. I did the Hissing Wastes first because I wanted to be able to hunt some wyverns and get some wyvern poison glands, so that by the time I got to the end of Inquisitor Leon, I can just blast through all the dragons with the dragon rune that I am about to craft. Let's see, was there anything in here that I should not... Oh my god. I have so much crap. I'm not dealing with this right now. I'm gonna take those out so I can sell them. Alright. Modify weapons. Because there was a staff that I wanted to strip. I want to keep that one around in case I need something for Vivienne. Because it's... No, it's not quite. Ugh, better DPS, but it does less damage at a time. I should just leave her with what she's got. Fuck it. There was also this, because I swapped around Cole's daggers. We're going to keep that one around in case of things. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Those grips are so cool.
Mix and match, pick your batch.
We're going to craft a rune and slap it on Evanura. Superb dragon slaying rune. Let's go. All of the above. Hooray. Because 27% armor penetration and 40 guard max sounds really, really good to me. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to hit dragons today, so I'm going to think about that for a little bit longer. Because there's some stuff that I need to figure out first. That's the one I want to keep. Oh my god. Enhanced Ring of Crit Chance. Don't I have a superb Ring of Crit Chance? Oh no, that's crit damage. I think it's equipped to someone. Fuck it. I have one of those. Okay. We're gonna call that inventory management. I'm gonna throw some of my upgrades into the chest. I'm gonna leave the superb dragon slaying rune there so that I remember that it's there. Speaking of things I did not remember were there. Hardin Hightown, Chapter 6. Okay. War table time! Gonna zip out here. Yeah. Okay. Three things, all in Orlais. Unmask those across the sea. Compliments to your spy master. You will hear no more from us. On behalf of powers across the sea, the executors. Okay. Yada yada, strategy, I did a thing, good job. Yay! We got the thing. We got the Yelen Basin is the holdings of the Inquisition. Hooray. Okay, this one has to be Cullen. At least the first time. We're sending fucking Cullen. Your worship, oh, excuse me, Marquise Effiloche Buffon. Okay. Your worship, my town of Valgamord has been besieged by Darkspawn. I cannot fathom where the loathsome beasts have come from, but I beg the Inquisition for assistance. My own humble forces have already been dispatched to help in your noble efforts, leaving my people ill-equipped against this savage host. Word of your redemption of the Grey Wardens has already spread far. Please, if you can spare them, Valgamord lives or dies by your word. Yours, Marquise Effiloche Buffon. So, the thing about this one is that, depending on who you send, you can straight up decimate the Grey Warden forces if you're not careful. So this one, I will always go with the careful route, which means that I think Cullen goes out once, and it's literally just when you start. Because Cullen's like, fuck yeah, send the Grey Wardens, they know what they're doing with Darkspawn, and then Liliana's like, let's look into this first. And Josephine's like, we can save the Wardens for an actual emergency. And, like, both of those things mean that you send the Wardens later, and more of them die, because shit got worse. So you don't wait, you send the fucking Wardens when there are Darkspawn. Alliances from the heart. This is all a bunch of our legions, isn't it? This is all a bunch of our legions. Great. The conflict among the nobles of the Orlesian capital has come to a head. Lady Richelieu has been busy promoting an arranged marriage to solidify the positions of the current players, with considerable status reserved for her as a matchmaker. The object is the pairing of Lord de Rosier with Lady Tybalt's daughter Celeste. All who have status enough to speak seem to be in agreement, but we have received a number of letters regarding the matter. From Lady Valise Tybalt. My daughter will dutifully comply, but I know her feeling. She will speak to no one. I would have you remind her that we are servants of our chosen world, but it serves us as well. It is her name that is stabilizing this alliance. It conveys power that should not be misdirected to matchmakers. From Lord Pierre de Rosier. Frankly, I'll be glad when the matter is settled. I've no desire to inconvenience the young Celeste beyond what name-sharing Lady Richelieu recommends. This has been a cock-up from head to tail. From Jacin Leandre, who is her paramour, the daughter in question. I pledge to the Inquisition, if my dearest Celeste is willing to sacrifice to ensure this alliance, then I can only do as much. My name may not be enough for some, but she will have my protection indirectly through service to you. So we have a few choices here. If you are set on... that's Liliana. We're going to start with Josephine. This is a currency. The two youths could be marriage enough if other investments encouraged Lord de Rosier to withdraw. I don't understand what that means. Oh, I see what she's saying. She's saying that Celeste can actually just marry her boyfriend if they can get de Rosier to withdraw his name, because de Rosier is old If you are set on the arranged pairing, Jessin Leandre should be quietly escorted from the city. I would not wish him present. True. Versus Cullen. Do we truly need this? I suggest discreet maneuvers in the free marches. A standard retinue, +2. Get the young couple out of range. I love that option, because Cullen's like, this is stupid. Nobles are stupid. Let them get married if they want to get married. Get them the fuck out of here. Just sneak them out. It's fine. So technically, for once, Josephine and Cullen are in agreement. This also leads to a very interesting scene in Val Royeaux, depending on which one you do, because the marriage takes place in Val Royeaux in the square very publicly because you know, nobles. And to make a long story short, if you show up, you have the option to bless the happy couple or be snarky or whatever. So Leliana is the only one that goes, all right, well, we put in all this effort. We need to make it happen the way it was planned. Josephine and Cullen are like, this is stupid. Why are we doing this? And Josephine's takes the longest. 3 hours and 12, 2 hours and 12, 3 hours flat. But, you know, I think I've done all three. And, basically, if you go with Leliana, the boyfriend sticks around anyway because, let's be real, nobles having extramarital affairs, let's say, is not abnormal. I mean, Vivienne's entire backstory, basically. And, like, I've spent this entire playthrough trying to do the smart thing, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to do the smart thing because the smart thing would be hell for this particular pair, because, like, marriages of duty are dumb. So we're gonna go with Josephine because I don't wanna. I don't want to make them do this. It's stupid. Okay. Disaster in the Deep Roads. Investigate Frostback Basin. Those are both after Employés du Lion. So, let's get started. And it has to be Josephine. Okay. Edouard Desjardins. He's so Orlesian. My dearest Josephine, the hills of Emprise du Lion are in peril. A maidservant recently returned from visiting an uncle in Sarnia spoke of gruff, helmeted men about the village's quarry and the appearance of strange red crystals in fields close by. I suspected red lyrium and sent men to investigate, but the bridges leading to the area had all been destroyed. The Red Templars' handiwork, I wager. If we do not act quickly, all of the Highlands may be lost. I wish I bore fairer tidings, my dear. My warmest regards to your family. I pray for the quelling of these winter winds of chaos that we may meet again in springtime. Your truest friend and ally, Edouard Desjardins. That's so weird because I know someone with the last name Desjardins, and they don't pronounce it that way because I don't think any of the family is French. Anyway, connections. The Elf's Blood River froze over after an unseasonable chill. We'll need brave soldiers and sturdy mounts, but it's our only path into the mountains. Let's go! We broke through to Sarnia, and lead scout Harding is with the vanguard sent to establish an Inquisition camp. Her early reports indicate that the red lyrium's spreading. Cullen. Fuck, who do I take with me? Shit. I didn't think this far. So I've been taking Varric basically everywhere, and also I never take Varric anywhere as a general, like, thing. Um, I don't think that I want, Dorian and Vivienne for this first bit, because there's a couple of rifts right where you show up. And there's a Pride Demon and a Rage Demon coming from each one. Then again, there's also Despair Demons. Maybe I do want Vivienne. So we'll go Varric, Vivienne, Solus. Vivienne can chase down the fucking Despair Demons. Yeah, I think that's the best I'm gonna go. Get words, whatever. Words are hard. It's early. Early enough. I spent all day yesterday taking notes for my anatomy class, and man, I, I think my brain is still fried. I went through 31 pages. Let's see, 20 of it yesterday. 7 pages of notes yesterday. 14 for the entire chapter. That was rough. But hey, I'm caught up, slash slightly ahead. So I can do my studying.
Inquisitor. Scout Harding.
We're on the outskirts of Sarnia. This is what's left of the town. The lucky ones got out before the river froze over. The rest, penned in by Fade Rifts and Red Templars. We're the first friendly face they've seen in a long, long while.
Let's keep it friendly. Are you cold?
Are you alright? You look a little cold.
Me? Well, it is a touch chilly. My toes are freezing.
Get some boot socks.
I'm sorry. You didn't need to note that.
Oh, she's so cute. Oh my god. Sweetie, it's okay. You can tell me your toes are freezing. You're standing out in the snow in, you know, rogue armor.
It got really cold, really quickly. Sarnia relies on its river for everything. Trade, food. They weren't expecting
I'm just really
this.
entertained by the one person that just like glitched across the screen behind her.
Do you know why the Red
Way off in the distance. Someone got yeeted.
The Templars have outposts all through the
Who'd you
hills.
piss off?
Our scouts haven't been able to get through. It probably has something to do with the local stone quarry, though.
I'm just
A lot of
picturing a
locals went
mage
missing
and
after the Red Templars moved
a
in.
random like scout or warrior or something just having a conversation, and then the other person, the random scout or warrior or whatever, is just like, they say something like mildly irritating, and the mage is just like, alright, I'm done with you, and just like, without attacking them, just like shoves them across the entire camp, like, no, I'm not dealing with you right now. So I mean, all three of these sound like Tali. I'll check on the townsfolk, because that's what you do. Inquisitor to the rescue, huh? Because it's true. The Red Templars need to go. So we're gonna go with that one for once.
The Red Templars in the area will need to be destroyed.
Knew we could count on you. The Red Templars have been mounting frequent attacks. They won Emprise du Lion. Bad.
Too bad.
Let's get out there and take it back from them.
Hell yeah. Do you need a scarf, honey? Oh, it's the sign. I always do that. Oh, I didn't level anybody.
This might interest you, sir.
Whoops. I knew there was something else I was gonna do. I guess I'll do that now for the 4 people that I have with me. Oh, right. Okay, she's fully upgraded for the Templar bullshit. We're gonna go for focused teamwork, first of all, because I never did that. And then... do I want to upgrade Blessed Blades, or Wrath of Heaven? You are healed for each enemy you strike with Wrath of Heaven. Does even more damage to demons and leaves enemies stunned longer. Ooh. That's I like bonus damage. And also potential for healing if I fuck up too bad. Versus... Oh, I didn't realize I could do that. Cool. Blessed Blades. Damage bonus 15%, yada yada. Cooldown reduction. Or retaining the effects of Blessed Blades for a short time after leaving the area of effect. I'm gonna upgrade Wrath of Heaven, because... Yes. I want my damage bonus. And or potential for healing, because I can just swap those out. Varric! Oh my god, everybody's leveled twice. 5 hours of sleep, yes? Oh god. Oh god, MH. What have you done to yourself? I need so much more than that on the regular, because... Yikes. Let's do that one. And, ooh, pyrotechnics. Or bleed duration. Ooh, that's tough. Hit more people, bleed. We're gonna go with bleed. Because there's no guarantee that that's gonna be in the middle of a group if I go for more. I feel like the world around me is muted and I sense monotonous. I don't quite understand what that is getting at. Speed reduction. Charge disruption. We'll go with that one. Decloaking blast. Yes. Dull. Well, yeah, I got what you meant by monotonous, but I sense dull doesn't really make sense. Like your senses are dulled? Sorry, I'm also tired, so if that was what you meant, that's kind of obvious actually, but I'm also bleh. I spent all day yesterday taking notes on a chapter in my anatomy book that's just it's so dense. I took 7 pages of notes yesterday, handwritten. It took basically all day. Generates charge more quickly, but expend all charge when striking an enemy. Deflect incoming projectiles. I really don't think that's going to work that well, so we're going to go with that one. I don't think the AI is smart enough to deflect projectiles. Alright. Upgrade Pull of the Abyss. Upgrade Stonefist. Upgrade Veilstrike. My senses got dull is actually cool to say. I mean, it's not a fun thing to deal with, but yeah. It just like it sounds like somebody like cast a spell on you and your senses are now duller because they like put you in a bubble or something. I don't know. Ooh, explodes on impact. Or additional damage against enemies with guard. We'll go with that one. Especially since, eventually, that will be useful against dragons. Alright. We're gonna talk to the townsfolk once I pick up this item. Stormheart, hell yeah.
What a waste.
What a waste? What is that about, Solus?
Omega, hear my cry.
Common curses. I love this one. So this is some dwarf talking to their either new employee or something, whatever, some dwarf from Orzammar. So, lad, you're getting your sights straight in your first day's topside, so here's some advice. You're not just trading with us, you're selling to all kinds of folk now, with different customs and tongues. As I've learned here, the most important part of any language is the cussing. It gets you trust. It gets you coin. Most elves you see in the city are servants, and a human looking for a fight might call one knife ear. If the elf returns with shem or quick, blood's about to spill. Those Dalish elves use flat ear to insult the ones that live with humans, like our unenlightened kin below calling us stone blind up here. Even the humans who pray to some woman they burned alive and her god they call the Maker say something when they knock their shins. It's a curse to say Andraste's, well, any body part really. Maker's breath might get you in with a swaggering fool, but the lady priests won't be pleased. Chantry folk also don't like mages. If you hear a mage called a spellbind, hide anything flammable. Then there are all those beautiful words that just mean sod it. When that loose cobblestone flips and the ankle cracks, an elf will cry Fenedis, while a human might damn it, and a Canary will mumble Vashidan. I've even heard a couple Tevinters yell Kafar. If any of these get aimed at you, hopefully all that gets killed is a sail. Note from Hardal, a surface merchant dwarf, to an apprentice adjusting to life outside Orzammar. I love that one. It's literally just, this is how all of these people swear, you should be aware of this. How much difference does an hour make? A lot. A lot. 5 hours of sleep is like, I want to die, and 6 hours of sleep is like, alright, I can function on this. Like, for me personally, 5 hours of sleep is like, I did not get anywhere near enough. When I was in high school, I used to be able to function on 4, but that's because my schedule was totally different, and, you know, high school is high school. I was like, I didn't have to worry about all that much in high school. Oh no, I killed a nug by accident! Oh, I'm upset. God damn it, I was too close when I used Wrath of Heaven. I didn't realize that I was that close. Fuck. I'm upset now. Okay. But yeah, I could run on 5 hours of sleep in high school. I could run on 4 hours of sleep in high school badly. Like, if I didn't have a test or anything, I was like, alright, well, 4 hours is better than no hours. But you get less than, like, 4 hours of sleep, and you're like, I wish I had not gone to sleep at all, because this is insufficient, and now I'm more tired than I would have been if I just hadn't bothered. Because you get the taste of a nap, and then nothing. And it's not helpful, it's the worst. So, you know, the difference between 3 and 4 is a lot. A lot. The difference between 5 and 6 is similarly a lot. Gimme that loot. Have to go actually back into the town because I didn't talk to anybody in the town. Oh, I guess I can talk to you while I'm here.
I saw the Inquisition's banners from afar. Never expected to see the Herald of Andraste herself.
Ah, Sir Michel, of course. I didn't recognize you, dressed as you are.
Lady Vivienne?
What? Dressed as you are? What is that supposed to mean? I hear, like, that sounds to me like they slept together, like... 8 and 12, nothing changes at all. That depends. Because, like, me personally, that changes a lot. Because I go from, I have gotten a sufficient amount of sleep and can function, to, you know, 10 or 11 hours, I'm like, yeah, I can do anything. 12 or 13 hours, I'm super tired again because I slept too much. And then everything hurts when I try to get out of bed. So, that's a thing. And also, like, I between the joint disorder and me being, you know, significantly older than you, 10 years makes a big difference there, things start to hurt a lot.
I will see him destroyed. Now that the Inquisition is here, perhaps the Red Templars...
So, like, unless you're sick, be careful with that 10 hours plus thing.
I need to know more about Imshale.
A desire demon.
I'm 27. So, yeah, I'm unless you've had a birthday since you told me this, I'm 13 years older than you, so it makes a big difference.
However, is anyone's guess. Perhaps he has gained the cooperation of the Red Templars, or vice versa.
What's in Suladin Keep?
Red Templars, so far as I can tell. Suladin is an elven fortress.
Oh, you're 16. Okay.
The locals always avoided it, believing it the haunt.
I must have misremembered. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I'm 11 years older than you then. Why did I think you were 14?
Why wait?
I am but
That
one man.
makes a lot more sense, honestly.
Suladin Keep is guarded by Red Templars. While I would happily give my life for this, I would not.
Maybe it's because I was thinking you were around the age of some of my students, and the class that I was thinking of has the median age in that class has gone down.
You could serve the Inquisition. We have use for strong arms and stout hearts.
No.
What about
Not
Kingdom
until
Hearts?
Imshale is
That's a
defeated.
non sequitur there, friend. I don't understand what that's supposed to get at. Also, as I'm staring at the back of Varric's head, that's also how I'm keeping my hair out from my eyes right now, because my hair is long enough now that it's, like, it's not long enough to put all the way up in a ponytail and not have weird, obnoxious wispies getting in my eyes, but it's, you know, when I put my headphones on, if I don't have my hair back out of my face, I get, like, hair in my eyes and I get really annoyed.
Mago, why have you allowed this to happen? My little brother off to war, and now my sweet Louis dead. Mago, why?
I mean, he didn't go off to war, but, you know, that's a bad day. Well, I have a hankering for that Dalish cheese you stocked last year. What happened to it? It's not really Dalish, is it? I asked the last Dalish hunters who came to the village to trade, and they looked at me like I'd grown a tree out of my head. Whatever it is, let me know if you get more. I would give anything for another taste. Denise. Eyelashes and eyes are the worst. Oh my god, right? Because then you have to, like, blink 100,000 times and your eyes start watering, and it doesn't help because it's so small, and the like the tears just like glue the eyelash to your eyeball. It's the worst.
No, I dropped it. It's gone.
Note on that last small note that I found. The interesting thing about the Dalish cheese, that might actually be like they heard Hala, and there were critters called Nana if you play a Dalish elf in Origins. So if you or DIY surgery. Oh my god.
That was
Yeah.
generous of you.
I do what I can. I am part
But
of
so the Nana
the Red Templars
actually,
food that I
it
have-
is
I
implied
saw
that it
them
is
before.
they are a
Taken
milkable
I
critter.
haven't seen them in weeks, and it's not enough.
So they're like Dalish cows. So it is entirely possible that a Dalish clan that has Nana would have
I didn't
this
know. I swear by
weird
ancestral
Dalish cheese
power,
that they
we looked like
mentioned
knights,
in the
chevaliers.
note.
Such pretty speeches. They said they would reopen the quarry, bring employment, and trade back to Sanya. We'd been struggling since the war began. How could I refuse? It was good for
I mean-
the time. People went to work, they were paid, then they stopped coming home. After that, the Red Templars stopped pretending.
What do you mean the Red Templars take workers?
People just disappear. First those who worked the quarry, then they took people from their homes.
They
I don't
just
know why.
disappear.
I just prayed they'd leave me and my family alone.
You fucked up bad, lady. Mistress Poolin's records. That's the lady I was just talking to. Records show that Sarnia's granite quarry has been in financial trouble for at least a year. I am aware of Wuthering Heights, but I never bothered with reading it, and I am not like, I have a vague understanding of Wuthering Heights. Yeah, I've never read anything by Bronte. I am aware of it. I know a little tiny bit about it, but I've never bothered with it because that's not really my style. So, Anselm says the Duchess of Severin's household has cancelled their order. The Duchess has decided instead to donate the gold set aside for her new fountain to the Empress's war effort, and Anselm won't send a boat to take the merchandise I prepared for him. He says if he can't sell it, it just takes up space in his warehouse. Maybe another trader will take it off my hands. It's some of the finest quality we've pulled in recent years. No new orders. I can't get rid of the blocks meant for the Duchess. No one wants what we offer, not while the war wages. I've had to close the quarry. I can't pay the workers. Soon they'll leave for the cities. Sarnia will die. Get it from the school library. Oh, got it from the school library. That makes a lot more sense. Yes. I mean, hey, if you enjoy it, there's a lot more in that vein where that came from. Like, I don't know exactly how prolific a writer Bronte was, but like there's a lot of other stuff that has a similar style from what I hear. So, if you like that, you will have a lot more to potentially read in the future. Ooh, there's Dawnstone this far out? Sweet! I don't really need Bloodstone. Dawnstone's good, though. Dawnstone, I think, is a tier 3. Alright, y'all. Yeah! Oh, Solus got to the Dispel before I did. No, it moved! It says stage 5, 5,000 head words, and it already took my attention. Alright, I don't have any idea what that means. I'm assuming it has something to do with, like, the rating of the book for your vocabulary level or something. More Despair Demons. God damn it. Okay, well there's at least 2. Spell Purge. Fight me. Okay, cool. God damn it. I missed. Yeah! Also Spell Purge again. I can't Spell Purge again. Fine. 700% weapon damage. Hell yeah. I'm so glad I upgraded that. I don't... Well, I think that's it. Yeah! Can I explain hence?
If you wish instructions,
Are you familiar with the word
do let me know.
thus?
I will. Perhaps you will direct me to a circle mage who does not front-load her barriers.
Oh my god. Oh, the sass! The sass in this party right now! So hence is like... Depending on exactly how it's used, it can be like, therefore, or it can be like, this led to, or... Yeah, that is. Yeah, that's hence basically means the same thing as thus. Unless it's like, henceforth, because then it's basically like, from here on out. Because that's a thing you might run across. I love the word hence. It's not exactly the same in context, but it's very similar. So, like, if I say, Cassandra's a badass, hence she's in my party. So I'm being like, that's why she's in my party. Or I could be like, you could say the same thing for thus. Or I could be like, I can't come up with another example. But yeah, there's little tiny differences in how you might use the two words, but they're very similar. So, the hunt. Day 1. Tracked her to the edge of Highgrove. I know she's here somewhere. I can sense it. Day 2. Gave me the slip. She's cunning. Hunter and hunted. Round and round in circles. It's a game, a dance, a ritual. It wouldn't be the same without it. Day 4. Tracked her to the ruins. She might be resting. I need the element of surprise. Leave everything unnecessary behind. Going light and quick. She's not going to get away. Not this time. So keep that in mind. Oh, wait, shit. I don't want to do this without Cassandra. Speaking of, because that is a, I think that's the last mage that we have to hunt for Cassandra's personal quest. Alright, let's get this Pride Demon. Oh, Pride Demon and Terrors, man. That did jack shit. Have used the last bit of neurons with the latest question and telling you to get to sleep. Absolutely, sleep is good for you, especially if you only got 5 hours the last time you slept. Go to bed. There's always the VODs. Yeah. Yeah, Pride Demon down. Sweet. And they took out the other ones while I was fighting the Pride Demon. Awesome. But then I wake up at like 1 AM. Oh, worst. Well, I don't know, man. There's a lot of bad answers. That's a problem. I have to be honest with you. When I go to bed early, I just am utterly dead until morning, because that's, if I get up, I'm not gonna wake up at 1 in the morning. I sleep too much. Most people have the opposite problem, because they're like, but I can't sleep. I'm like, nah, I will sleep forever. Legit. I have friends with narcolepsy that were looking at me going, dude, you sleep a lot. I'm like, I know. Oh no, I drink so much coffee. So much coffee. At one point I was almost up to a cup a day. It wasn't pretty. I'm sorry, a pot a day. A cup a day. I haven't been down to a cup a day in years. I can't reach you from here. Yes. I'm still very close to drinking a pot a day. It's not always quite that bad, but it sure gets there. If I haven't gotten a lot of sleep recently, I just tank coffee. There was one day last week I was supposed to have a meeting after work on a Tuesday. So my Tuesdays, my class that I'm taking right now is a 3-hour class, starts at 8:30 in the morning. So I have to leave my house at about 8 to get to class on time. This is not counting the fact that I have to get up a couple hours before that to make sure that I am, awake enough to drive. So I leave my house at 8 o'clock in the morning. I get to class at 8:30. I sit in a lecture for 3 hours. I go have my lunch, and I have work at 3 in the afternoon until 8 o'clock at night. So by that point, I've been out of the house for 12 hours, and then this meeting was supposed to be at after all that. So, like, it's usually around 7:45. And then it's just I'm out of the house for 12 hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And the like having a meeting on a Tuesday was a little a little rough. The meeting did not end up happening, but that was a pot of coffee day. Because it was such a long day. Isn't it overkill? What, drinking a pot of coffee? I mean, it's certainly not good for you, but I have... Let me put it to you this way. They thought I had a sleep disorder because of how much and how long I sleep. It's not that I have a sleep disorder, it's that that's how much energy it takes my body to keep going because of the joint disorder that I have. No, I'm absolutely not saying it's good for me. I'm saying that the other option is I fall asleep in the middle of the day when I'm still supposed to be doing things. It is absolutely not good for you. I just don't really have a better choice. Like, I drive everywhere. I do not have a choice. I have to be awake enough to drive. I have to be safe enough to drive. I need to be able to be awake. It is absolutely not good for you. But, like I said, it's like caffeine. Caffeine is a drug. It is, I am self-medicating so that I can stay awake and stay safe. Having what? Like, just falling asleep all the time. Accidental midday naps. There we go. Frozen waterfall. Let's go back around this way so that we don't straight up die. Vivienne. Follow. And 7th graders fell asleep. Oof. Yeah. That, like... I never had this problem when I was in school, but... You know, by the time I got to college... Ouch. It tastes good, it feels good. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Like, put it to you this way, there is a very real potential for addiction to caffeine, and this is gonna sound ridiculous, but there is also a difference between an addiction and a dependency. I am absolutely dependent on caffeine so that I can function. You know, that's it. Don't call it a drug if I don't take it in any breaks. It's a drug. That is it. Caffeine is a drug. It's not that you're necessarily addicted to it, but it is a drug. Like, you know, it is classed as a drug. It's just legal and, you know, safe as drugs go. It is a recreational drug. People just don't think of it like that. I love tea. Tea is excellent. It's just early enough when I'm streaming that I'm just like, coffee! Give me all of my coffee! So. Good morning, alien. How are ya? We finally made it to Emprise de Lyon. You haven't missed much. I closed a couple of rifts.
More red lyrium. Charming.
Yeah, black tea tends to have about, depending on the tea and depending on the coffee, it tends to have about 1/3 to half the amount of caffeine as coffee. I have done all this research. As the same volume of coffee, I should say. So, like, if I drink, you know, a very, very small, for me, mug of tea, if I drink a mug of tea that is the same size as my coffee cup, I will get half the amount of caffeine from my tea as I would from coffee. Used to drink Mountain Dew, caffeinated soda to wake up in the morning when I... Oh my gosh! Oh, that stuff's like battery acid. I mean, it's not like friggin' Monster Energy drinks or anything like that, but like... Mountain Dew is so sugary, I never got into it. It's so much. Yeah, isn't it too early? Not if I want to be awake. Yeah. Me with coffee. When I drink black tea, I drink 550 milliliters. Yeah. So, let's see. My coffee cup, I think, is about 12 ounces. So let's see, if 32 is a liter, approximately, that would be somewhere around, like, 300 or so milliliters.
It was fascinating to observe you at the Winter Palace.
My tea mug is,
even those with no grasp of subtle
like 20 ounces.
Might enjoy the pageantry.
So that's
Pageantry, Enchanter.
Isn't everything?
closer to 600 or so milliliters. So yeah, that's same, approximately. When I drink tea, I drink a lot of it at a time also. Not diabetes, but the teeth. Oof. So I have a huge caffeine dependency. And like I said, I use the word dependency for a reason, because I don't get like nasty and gross and angry and whatever. I don't get like the withdrawal symptoms if I don't have caffeine. Unless it's like I've been drinking a pot a day for a week at that point, which luckily does not happen frequently. But I can go from like 2 or 3 cups a day to not drinking coffee, and I'm tired because I haven't had caffeine, but I'm not having withdrawal symptoms. So that's the differentiation that I personally make. I don't know if that has any like backup in medicine or science, but that's the distinction that I make. I am dependent on coffee so that I can, you know, be awake and functional, but I do not call it an addiction for myself, because I am perfectly capable of functioning without it. It just takes me a lot longer to wake up, and I can't really afford to take that long to wake up. So, no more jellies and delights. I quit drinking cola. Don't drink cola for 2 years, despite I was addicted. Oof. Oof. Yeah, I was gonna say though, like, I don't really have a sweet tooth. I have a huge thing about caffeine, but I don't really have a sweet tooth. Like, that part is not something that I am gonna follow. I just never really had one. Where am I here? Okay, so I have to come back to this with Cassandra. But, how did I miss a landmark? Mineral waters, whatever works, man. I mean, I know a lot of people that really like those, and I know a lot of people that are like, ew, why would I do that? It's just water that tastes gross. And I can kind of understand that. I just drink water. But, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I sweeten my tea with a little bit of honey, but, like, that's because the tea that I drink is very bitter. And I drink my coffee black. Not that coffee isn't bitter, but... Yeah, no. Okay, I can't get to that right now. That's one of the ones that I have to get to later. There's a landmark. It was taunting me. Aromated? I'm not familiar with this word. Fight me!
Bring me their heads.
Yeah! Flavored water. That would make sense. Because, you know, aroma. I'm just making up new words. Okay, I see. I mean, you're allowed. But... like, memes make up new words, why shouldn't you? And like, so, that's actually something that I find really excellent, is, like, new words are being created all the fucking time, and literally the only thing that makes them valid or invalid is how widespread they are. So, like, if you have a meme that's just making up new words, everybody's gonna understand what you mean, so it's a word. If it is useful in getting your point across, it's a new word. It counts. So like, I'm not telling you don't make up words, because if you get your point across among your friends, it is valid enough. And also, who cares? Language is fake. But I love like I love figuring out the genesis of new words and things. It's so great. Why do I feel like I'm missing something here? I don't think that yes, I am. Aromatized. LaCroix, carbonated flavored water. Okay, but Alien, I have to tell you, the only thing that I know about LaCroix, or LaCroix, I don't even know how it's actually pronounced, but the only thing I know about that brand is all of the memes where it's like, the memory of a crushed orange, or like whatever, because they're just making fun of how little flavor it has. That's all I know about that brand. Heisenberg Germans have it, but it's not flavored. Okay. It's just, yeah. Ooh, Blade of the Champion. That is literally nothing. Okay. Not the champion, a champion. Fine. Rude. I am offended by this. So alright. I'm gonna actually swap Cassandra back into my party and go back down here before I forget to. And then I'll come back here and continue on. No! No what? Oh, god damn it. I did it again. That button. There we go. Now Cassandra's in my party.
Inquisitor, have something for...
Ah, I'm stuck. There we go. I don't know how to pronounce it either, and the memes are true, but I have to break the cola habit somehow. This is true. I honestly, I don't know. I used to drink soda a lot in high school when it didn't, you know, really matter that much, because I was a teenager, and then I just stopped drinking soda as much because I discovered tea. And how much I like tea. And, like, herbal tea, mostly, at the time. So it was like, I can get any flavor that I want. This is now boring. Also, my favorite right now, I found a tea that literally tastes like the best ginger ale you've ever had, but warm and non-carbonated, which sounds really gross, but, like, think about it in tea form. It's this really excellent ginger tea, but it's not ginger based. It's actually it's a white hibiscus tea with ginger and lime, which is what makes it taste like ginger ale. It's so good. It is Twinings, and I think the very product is called Support or something, because it's like supposed to be one of those health nut teas, but it just tastes really, really good. I love it. It's delish. It is currently one of my favorites, and that takes a lot, because like I have a chai that I really like that I drink when I want something slightly caffeinated that isn't coffee, and I have an herbal tea that I really like that's what is it? It's got a little bit of orange in it. It's got cinnamon and a couple of other things, and I forget what they are, but it's a very warm taste, but it doesn't have the caffeine of a chai. So I drink that sometimes if I'm like, I'm cold, I want to not be cold, or like if I just want something a little more savory or whatever. I really like that one. And then I have like echinacea if I'm feeling awful. I do actually like the echinacea tea that I have, but it's like I almost only drink it when I feel like I'm starting to come down with something. Because it basically functions like an herbal allergy pill. What is over here? Oh, it's bloodstone. So I don't drink the echinacea one that much, but it tastes nice. It's not like, oh my god, this is delicious, but it's good. So like those are basically the main ones that I drink.
There, a rogue
Look around for hibiscus. I think a store around here should have Twinings. Yeah, luckily Twinings is a relatively popular company. Like, it's not Lipton, but it's good. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. It's very common. And like I said, that particular one is just like, it tastes like ginger ale, but in tea form. It's great. I love it. Gordon the Frank. All right, let's take you out. Have a good one, MH. Just have a gastric issue, like, yeah, that's a thing. Now that you're walking away, now I read your comments. Sorry about that. Or BRB may come back later. All right. Well, either way, I hope you get a little bit of rest. I'll be here for probably a couple hours. So. Ouch, I'm on fire.
It's over. Thank you for bringing us here.
You are welcome, Cassandra. Alright. Hey, Varric, wanna pick me a lock here? Friend? Yeah. Get on the stair, as a matter of fact. No, it's Bloodstone. I don't care about Bloodstone. I thought it was Dawnstone. At a funny angle.
It is a comfort to have you present on our journeys, Seeker.
Aw.
You so rarely call me by my name, Solas. Why is that?
Manners, perhaps.
He doesn't call
Manners
anybody by
have
their
not
first name.
held you back on other occasions.
I say what I believe to be true, even if it gives offense to those who prefer the lie.
What?
But there is no lie in what you are. Your position is an honorable one, and well earned.
Huh. I've never heard that one before. That's very interesting. Oh, this is that tower. Okay. They say you shouldn't bring home girls you find near Fade Rifts, but they don't know. I saved Colette. She came from a cold, empty place. No one cared about her. Now she's here, and we'll be together forever. She's all I ever wanted. I know she loves me. I feel her love in everything she does to me, even when it hurts. Especially when it hurts. I've never been happier. And then you come over here, And there's some bodies on a rack and an axe. Rebuke of the Sunderland. So, yeah. My boyfriend and I were very sad Teavana closed. Oh my god, right? He's very into the different herbal flavors. We've had some luck with some other loose leaf teas, and there's a new place at the mall that seems to be the same niche. Nice. You also might be able to chat with Kaji if you're ever on the Sayuki server at the same time and just be like, suggest me some teas. Because Kaji has a lot of information, I guess. Like, first of all, she's super into tea, but second of all, I guess there's a place by her that's just got all of these interesting, weird teas that she really likes. And she's actually sent me a couple of, like, small things of tea before. And most of them have been really good. Not all of them, but most of them. And I mean, part of that is absolutely me being like, I don't have any idea how that would be, so sure, let's give it a shot. And then I, you know, was not a fan. So, that happens, but... Alright. Now that we're back on track here, let's tell Cassandra to leave again. Much as I love her, she's, the exact same,
All clear.
class as my current Inquisitor. So, there's no point in having her here. Oh, seeing the Silverite. Apparently...
Lyrium growth so warm.
Bianca said it was alive, so the warmth makes sense.
It does. Apparently, if you craft warrior armor out of Silverite, you can remove all of the class restrictions. If you make... What are the other two? If you make rogue armor out of Snowflare skin, or mage armor out of... It might be Dale's Load and Wolt. You can remove the class restrictions. I would have to double check on that that last one. And also, for me personally, I'm like, why would I ever want to put anyone but a mage in mage armor? It's just got such low stats. So there's not really a point to that. But yeah, I might craft some folk, some different stuff. Dalish wolf carving. The area around Sarnia. Is this Genitivi? This is Mayor of Sarnia. Holy shit. For the aesthetic, clearly, you're not wrong. The area around Sarnia has always displayed a blend of the old and new, Elven and Orlesian. I take pride in this. Emprise de Lyon is a part of the Dales, and our history is nothing to be ashamed of. Others have not held such an enlightened view, and Elven relics once scattered around the region have been destroyed or stolen. Some of the few remaining are statues of wolves, one along Alphonse's Passage, another in a ruin near the Elf's Blood River. Dalish clans passing through often honor these statues with offerings of flowers. I see no harm in it. Signed, Mayor of Sarnia. So, you know, yeah, not all Orlesians are dicks, just, you know, most of them. Give me the Dawnstone! Give it to me. Dawnstone is pink. It's Bull's favorite rock. The man who would be mayor, yes. I'm gonna go down here really quick, because, yep, I was gonna say, there's more Dawnstone. Yeah. And Bloodstone. I don't care about Bloodstone. Bloodstone is common. I guess I'll get the Silverite. Alright. And back up we go. More bloodstone. But also behind the owl, more dawnstone. Fight me! Kill them, you can try. Yeah. As for weird armor for classes, it can be fun to put the squishy mage in his full plate and watch the enemies break their weapons on it. I know, right? Oh, that would be so great. Like, I will always step up a class like that. Like, the stats for warrior armor are so good. But stepping down a class for stats, like, why would I do that? I think that's part of the reason I like playing rogues so much, because, like, rogues and mages have the fun abilities, but rogues have the stats to be able to withstand a little bit. If you get hit as a mage, you're kind of fucked. So, I love this stupid little Easter egg, because I think I found it on, like, my 8th playthrough, or 7th playthrough. So, there's all these feet just hanging out of the ice there. Read. A warning. Don't touch my pyramid! They didn't listen. I love Easter eggs. Actually, as I'm running around here, I'm like, I should put Vivienne in some Silverite warrior armor. Because she's the one that really needs the con. Of all my mages, she's a melee mage. She needs the constitution. / stats. So, like, what I've been doing for her is I build her as if she's a warrior. Like, I get her all of the constitution stuff. If something says +3 guard on hit, I'm like, fuck yeah, that's going to Vivienne. But if I craft her some warrior armor out of Silverite, I might get some pretty good stats. Ah, and now we got stuck in the loop of, you finished this quest already, but we're gonna tell you finished it 1,000 times. Pocket diary. I'm going to ask Andrine to marry me. I've got it all planned. I'll take her to the bridge overlooking the valley, and we'll open the bottle of wine Father left for me. I think it's time. I know she's been waiting for a while. I wanted it to be perfect. But nothing's ever perfect. There will always be a war somewhere. There will always be sadness, and wondering where our next meal will come from, but we'll have each other. That's so nice. I mean, it's not, because he's clearly dead. But in older editions of D&D, there was a % spell failure chance for casting an armor, but there were materials and crafting techniques that could reduce that % chance, so you could get a wizard in medium or heavy armor, but that armor would be the most expensive piece of gear. Interesting. Yeah, the way they handle it in Dragon Age, like in the D&D game that I've been playing, it's basically our DM is handling it as, you can, but it would be really dumb. Like, if you have a high enough armor rating or whatever, you can wear the armor if you have the strength for it, but you probably shouldn't. Meanwhile, in Dragon Age, you just it is class restricted. It doesn't It doesn't matter. So having the different materials remove that restriction is kind of cool. Now I'm like, I could put Tali in some of the fancy mage armor and have her look all cute, but I can't think of any of the mage armor that looks all cute that would still look all cute on a dwarf. Just because a lot of the ones that I'm thinking of that are like, this is adorable, are elven armor. A lot of the dwarven armor is like, this is the sturdiest thing ever, and also it's spiky, and fuck you, don't touch me ever. Because that's it, that's dwarves. Now that mage armor spell lasts 8 hours, trying to cheese actual worn armor is redundant. Yeah. Actually, you know what? I think my sibling had something similar to that on their, I forget what kind of caster they're playing. It might be a warlock or a sorceress, maybe? I don't remember. No, not a warlock. Wizard. Wizard or sorceress. I forget. They were not feeling well our last campaign, so it was like, okay, now we have to deal without Nio, I guess. Alright. And we were just like, my sibling's character ended up accidentally being the leader, so now it was like, when they were sick, it was like, we were just bickering the whole time. In character. All of us love each other out of character, but it was like, in character, we were just bickering and being ridiculous. That was a cool effect with the skeleton collapsing on itself. Still, +2 floating shield is never a bad thing to have, right? Okay, so what I'm gonna do, at the very least, I'm gonna get to this next, I'm gonna stop running around and looking at Rashvine. I don't need fucking Rashvine. I'm gonna get to this next camp. I'm gonna set up camp. And now that we've been talking about armor for long enough, I wanna try to, like, look at what all this stuff would look like on Tali and Vivienne. And just make them stuff. I don't think I'm gonna spend too long doing that because I spend forever on like the armor making screen, but I would be curious as to what kind of stats I could get Vivienne and how cute I can make Tali. Because when I made this Inquisitor, I was like, I'm going to have the cutest dwarf, she's gonna be fucking adorable, and I've never had a blonde character before, so I'm gonna make her blonde and blue-eyed. And the blue is gonna be like lyrium blue, and glowy, and ridiculous, and you're gonna be concerned when you look at her. So, like, she's adorable, but also extremely unsettling. Because that's my favorite kind of adorable. Learning new words is good, presumably not cool. It makes the words I use eventually vanish from my short-term memory, and I still stumble upon them again, they're gone. Oof! Yeah. That's rough. That, unfortunately, basically the only thing you can do to not make that happen is study your old vocabulary while you're learning new stuff. That's it. There is no other way to fix that. It sucks. Either that or just, like, intentionally practice with them, like, write out sentences with your old vocabulary or whatever, but then you have to be like, which words am I going to forget? And good luck figuring that out. How to study thousands seamlessly. You can't. You can't. Literally just doing what you're doing and coming into English language streams and things and reading English language books is probably, those are probably your best bet to keep your vocabulary the way it is, but again, there's no foolproof way to do it. It's just immersion over and over and over and over again. Oh, hello, Red Templar stuff. Oh well. Oh god, they're sending a behemoth. Wait, didn't we just kill the behemoth? I think we just killed the behemoth. That's fine. Or hundreds. Yeah, still. Like, literally the only way to do that is continuing to study and or continuing to use the words. It's a pain. And like sometimes if you can study like multidisciplinary in a multidisciplinary fashion,
Do enjoy this time, Enchanter.
sometimes that helps.
You may miss your freedom when you lock yourself back up in some tower.
Oh my god,
Imprisonment
soulless.
is largely a matter of who holds the keys.
You so often come out on top. You play the political games brilliantly.
A compliment, although you speak it as a curse.
You could use those skills to improve the lives of your fellow mages. Instead, you have done nothing save consolidate your own power.
Y'all.
Keeping my power might in fact improve the lives of my fellow mages.
I mean, it won't
You
because you're
honestly
pretty
believe
much
the
evil.
world is better off with you setting its course.
I need not be in the spotlight, but after watching others try and fail, why should I not have a turn?
Wow.
I leave you with the greatest curse of my people, Durtharamar.
What rustic elven curse is that, apostate?
Oh my god.
May you learn.
Ooh! Oh, I like that. May you learn. Oof. Oh god. Oh, that was good. And you know what? I bet they both think they won that conversation. Holy shit. Gonna be honest, even 9-year-old's vocabulary has the words used in streams in their repertory. Yeah. Yeah. It like because the streams and stuff, like we're just talking. You don't have to use unusual words to get your point across most of the time in regular conversation, unless you have a very specialized thing that you're talking about. Like, if I started talking about, like, first of all, you sometimes say things where I'm like, I don't remember what that means. You're saying words, and I know that I know what that means, but I don't remember what that means. Because you're not getting it as a native speaker. You're getting this from, research and study, and a lot of the words that you're finding are like, oh, you should know this, which is fair, but it's like, I don't use that word, so I don't remember it. Or, and actually, I ran across that when I was working at a pet store. I was relatively fluent in Spanish, but I say was because I am absolutely not anymore because I'm way out of practice. But so there were a couple of times where I had customers come in that were Spanish speaking, and I was the only one in the store that could mostly communicate with them because I was relatively fluent in Spanish. But a lot of the terminology that I needed was so specialized, I couldn't actually have a sufficient conversation with them about pets and our products because I didn't have the correct vocabulary for that situation. So a lot of it ends up being how specialized is your vocabulary versus how specialized is what you're talking about. So like a lot of it was really simple words, but I didn't know them because I knew how to introduce myself. I knew how to give people directions to things, but God forbid you start talking about ferrets, which I didn't know the word for ferret when I started working at the pet store. It's hurón in Spanish. So I learned a bunch of pet words, but then I had to figure out, I don't know the word off the top of my head for obligate carnivore. Like, I don't know the word for, like hay. That's a weirdly specialized one. I'm reading the book. Panting there is. I already know what it means, but I swear I've never ever checked it, but still can't make up the equivalent to it in my language till I check the dictionary to confirm it. Yeah, and I'm running into that in my anatomy class. I'm like, I know what this means, but I don't have the exact... That's underground, isn't it? Son of a bitch. I don't have the exact definition that my prof wants, so I have to look it back up again. So, which reminds me, I have to study later because we have a test tomorrow morning. Which mine is probably going to be tomorrow afternoon, right after class, because I'm autistic and I don't process things at the same speed, so when there's a written part of the test, I need extra time to be able to actually, answer the questions. So my test is going to be slightly later. This never happens in natives, at least from my experience. I mean, you say that, but how many times have Alien, or how many times have you asked a question in my chat, and I've been like, I know exactly what that means, but I have no idea how to describe this to you. Because that's happened a few times.
We should not stay here too long.
Vivian, you've said that already. Relax. We're not gonna stay here too long. Chill. We got shit to do in this map. Ever have that thing where you learn a new word and then you see it everywhere? Yes. And like sometimes, especially if it's in a new language, because you're like, this is in context, this is in so many things that I have already heard. And now I know what it means, so now you recognize it everywhere. If it's in your own language, it's a slightly different story, because you're like, oh yeah, that's what it means. And you just kind of, like, it's a slightly different thing when it's in your native language. But, there's that pride demon. There's that pride demon. Fight me! I'm down here, asshole. Yeah. Get back here. Almost 1,000 damage. I like that bonus damage. That's good. Or you were already seeing it but didn't notice it most of the time. Exactly. And like that I think is most of the difference between seeing something like that in your native language and seeing something like that in your target language. Because seeing something that you were aware of the word but you didn't know what it meant in your native language is like, you know the word but you don't know what it means, so you'd be like, oh yeah, that's what that means, or oh yeah, I know that word. But in your target language it's more like, oh that word, oh now I understand, and then you recognize it more. I don't know. Maybe that's just my experience. Because that is always a possibility, but it's fun. Rifts at Draken's Cleft. Is this going to take me to... No, okay. This is going to take me into Valeska's Watch, isn't it? Alright. Yep.
Let's look around.
'Cause here we are. In death. So this is more Grey Warden stuff, but for real. In war, victory. In peace, vigilance. In death, sacrifice. My brothers and sisters in vigilance. By drinking of the chalice, you are a Grey Warden. Though you perished, you died with your blood joined with mine. I honor your sacrifice and carry your memory into battle. Meline of Arlezan, I remember you. Leonid of de Fermen, I remember you. Audwin, I remember you. That hurts me a little bit. And, like, I love that they did some of the things that they did with this game, because you see things like that and you're like, I know who these people were now. There were 2 Orlesians, probably humans, and an elf. That's who those people were. And it's just a little tiny bit of context, but it gives you so much. That's what I call good writing. Give me that lore. This is also where there's an elven artifact somewhere, like way the fuck out here. Like somewhere where you're gonna straight up die if you fall. Give me that Arbor Blessing, I want to upgrade my potions. I think the elven artifact.
artifacts.
Yes, I know. Oh, it's right there. Oh no, okay. It's up from here. That's fine. Oh no, I think I know what I was thinking of. I was thinking of the Sulavine blade. Because you can also find the Sulavine blade. Let me look. Wait, it's down from here. Let's open the tower first. I know exactly where the Sulavine blade is from here. So hold that thought. Oh, right, you can't actually do anything with that tower. Oh, do I want to deal with this right now? I have 6 potions. I can probably deal with this right now. Let's find out. Yeah. Because you gotta... Oh, hello. You're meeting me on the rocks. That's fine. Sure. And there's a pride demon down there. Son of a bitch. Alright. Let's go. Fight me.
I wonder how far this corruption has spread.
Too far. That's not a dispel thing. Hate it when we have a sophisticated, should have said complex word in my native, but when I translate it to another, it's like math. One is complex and far less comprehensive, where the equivalent is like fucking play. I can mean that, but yeah, it makes no fucking sense, but they equate anyways. Yes! Yes! Trying to translate shit in like... So, you have touched upon one of the reasons Jews and Christians consistently disagree about something that is technically the same book. So, the Torah is in Hebrew. When you translate it into Latin/Greek/the vernacular, like Christians have done, it means that all of the translations are then going to be slightly different than the original meaning. So, when you have slightly different translations of the original meaning, you have people who don't get the same context. And then they also have different opinions because they are not of the same religion. So, that, like, Judeo-Christian is not a thing. You should not have this in your vocabulary because it's bullshit. But that's the reason that even, like, super friendly people that are of different religions and use approximately the same holy book don't use the same holy book. It doesn't mean the same thing anymore. And I'm sure that it's the same thing when you go from either of the above into, you know, I'm assuming the Quran is not in Hebrew, but it's, once again, a lot of it's the same stuff, technically, but it's been translated so many times, it doesn't mean the same thing anymore. It doesn't have the same context, it doesn't have the same cultural context or the same actual linguistic context. So it just changes the meanings completely. It gets funny. It gets weird. Yes, I know. I've already completed this quest. Please stop telling me I've completed the quest. I know. Alright. So somewhere, past this rift we just closed, down here, there is a camp, and I see the tent. We're gonna read first. We're gonna check out what it says. Journal, found near Dead Elf. Most of the journal's pages are ripped out, possibly used as kindling. A few of the final pages remain intact. Mephalanaster, first Phelan lost neither's weather. Rill can't stop shaking. No one lays eyes on the cradle of Sulavine for hundreds of years, and now will die for a story after all. So, we just got a quest. You can go to your war table and find the Cradle of Sulavine, which is where you find the Sulavine blade, which is an excellent sword, and it's badass, and I am incapable of not doing that. It's one of my favorite, like, basically anything that is an elven ruin is one of my favorite dungeons, but that one is really, really cool. It's slightly creepy, kind of like the Lost Temple of Dirthamen, and it's super elfy, like, most of the elven ruins that you find are not this, like, extreme about elven culture.
Do you even bother to explore the Fade in your dreams?
Oh my god.
I prefer to explore the world I actually live in.
Solus.
You could be much more powerful if you ventured outside your narrow preconceptions.
Oh my god.
Ah, the temptation to leave the path. You sound like a pride demon.
Wow!
Enchanter. Any pride demon you met would just walk away, shaking its head and laughing uncontrollably.
Oh, darling, more than one already has.
Okay. Look at broad, it both means not detailed and elaborated. The fuck? Yeah, so if I yeah, that the way you're so there's this concept called contronyms, where a word is its own opposite. Usually that comes about because somebody used the word sarcastically enough times that both meanings ended up in the dictionary. So, like, the word quite, depending on if you're talking to an American, if I say quite, like, it was quite cold today, I mean it was really cold. If you talk to a Brit and they say it was quite cold today, it doesn't mean it was really cold. It means it was sort of cold. So, like, it sounds like we're using the same word, but one of us is being sarcastic kind of a thing. That part is a regional thing, so that's a cultural thing. But it can also be, like, the word literal. This one bugs the shit out of me. If I say literal, I mean literal, as in this is actually the way that it is, not figuratively the way it has come to mean slightly more recently because of the internet. Because people exaggerate, and they go, oh my god, I literally died, or whatever, because they were being melodramatic. So that kind of meaning just worms its way in. Translation is wild because words can have literal meanings and definitions, but also connotations, and those can be situational and change over time, sometimes very quickly because of current events. Right. And then, you know, when you have a language like Hebrew, and I'm going to keep going back to this because it is relatively unique for the ones that I have any knowledge of, I can look at the same set of Hebrew letters, and I've mentioned this before, the vowels are kind of optional in Hebrew, so I can look at the same set of Hebrew letters, and it can be 4 different words pronounced 4 different ways because of the way Hebrew roots work. And they mean 4 different things, but they're all kind of vaguely culturally interrelated because of the way that Hebrew roots work. It's fucking weird. Okay, I'm gonna read this because the reason I'm on this screen is because I wanted to talk, but also I want to read this thing. So, Valeska's Watch. A missive from Leliana to Inquisition agents bound for Emprise du Lion. I have marked areas of interest on the maps provided. I would draw particular attention to Valeska's Watch, an old Grey Warden outpost. It guards a deep road's entrance, sealed after the Third Blight. Because of the entrance's size, the Wardens feared Darkspawn would find a way through despite their efforts. Senior Warden Valeska recommended they build a fort over the collapsed tunnel, so Wardens could always guard it. They did so for centuries. The Grey Warden's disappearance means Valeska's Watch is now unguarded. If the seal over the entrance has degraded, Darkspawn may infest it. Be wary when entering the area. The Blight is a slow death, and one I would save you all from suffering. I'd wager most usage on social media tends towards hyperbole. Yes, Alien, you are correct. And I anticipated to wake the other day as a Brit and then an American if I ever have conversation with peoples of sorts. How do you overcome regional? You literally just have to know. It sucks. I only learned the thing about quite because of, like, someone made a post about it and I was like, oh god damn it, that's why they're always being sarcastic. It's literally just the context of where they live versus how that's used where I live. Fuck. But a lot of it ends up being slang. You can't really manage stuff like that if you don't know about it. Yeah! Fight me! Yeah. Yes! Alright. That went pretty well. I'm sure there's a Hurlock around here. Hurlock! Called it. Also, fuck you. Yeah! Larry and I are both Americans, so we're reading it as Americans. I'm a language nerd! Accurate. Who happens to know more about some British usage. I only know what I picked up from watching BBC. Okay, yeah, some of that is literally the same thing. I just really like language stuff. So, I'm just a nerd. It's okay, guys. Grey Warden Diaries. The older woman, the one who got me out of prison, she told me she was sending me down a tunnel to kill a darkspawn. That's insane. I let them conscript me so I wouldn't hang. I'm not going looking for a darkspawn. They have disease. I've had enough of this. I'm free and I'm not going back. The wardens can find someone else to do their work. I'm gone as soon as night falls. From a battered journal. I watch a Canadian streamer too. Yeah, so you'll find things which are more similar to American usages, but they will still be different because they're not American. They are North American. We're on the same continent. So, you know, they tend to be more similar than, you know, Americans to Brits. But, you know. One of the other interesting things, in Europe, a lot of people end up, like, obviously, a lot of people in Europe end up speaking British English because, you know, Great Britain is in Europe. It is across the English Channel from most of Europe, but it's in fucking Europe. Of course that's what they're gonna hear. But so you find that. No, I don't want the rift. And then you end up with a bunch of different accents and dialects and things, and sometimes you'll end up with things creeping into English in British English from those languages. So like you will some of the slang that Brits use actually came from other languages, and it was just like they're close by, so we use this now. But basically anything that's English is not generally directly from the English language anyway, or we would sound more Germanic. So, it's ugly. Just gotta find an Aussie to accomplish the Trinity. Yeah. And then, where was I going with that? There was somewhere else I was going with that. Oh my god, Solus, take a potion! Take a potion! Okay, hang on. This Hurlock Alpha is taking a while to go down. Hold that thought. Get this bastard out of here. Like, my Wrath of Heaven is not affecting this thing. And I think it's because we're on the stairs. There we go! Naturally, right when it goes down. Fuck. So the thing about Canada, a lot of their, and this is gonna sound weird as fuck, but a lot of their language and stuff, they are gonna sound a lot more like Americans, because we're all in, you know, like I said, we're all on the same continent, we're all North America, but they're not gonna sound like Americans necessarily, because half of what they speak is French. Because Canada has two official languages, English and French. So their English might sound mostly American, but they also have weird little French things that creep into their language because that's the other official language in Canada. And America does not have an official language, so we have a lot of shit that creeps in from a lot of languages depending on, you know, regionally, depending on where you are. Like, around here, there's a lot of Portuguese that creeps in, or sometimes Spanish, because that's the area that I live in. There will be a lot of, sometimes there will be Asian languages creeping in like, California, and areas like that where you have, more Asian folks, in the population. There's not really a lot of Asian folks in the population around here, so we don't get that as much. My potions are on auto, but my, I kept the setting where it saves 2 of them. So, like, if I get down to 2 potions, I'll still have 2 in reserve. So I got down to 2 potions, and effectively, no more auto potions. That's what that does. Government keeps the French going intentionally with schools. I mean, there's... I don't know how official languages work, because, like I said, we don't have one here, so I can't really comment on that. That's not a thing in America. We just straight up don't have one. Grey Warden Diaries. They've broken through. The last time we had any trouble here was during the Blight. The records say someone reported hearing scrabbling. They investigated but found no danger. After the Archdemon was killed, we got complacent. We might need to destroy all of the Bastion to keep them back. There aren't enough of us left to man the post. If there's a raid, we might not stand. They could get out, attack the town. Waiting for word from the Warden Commander. In the meantime, I'll do all I can. My parents vacationed in Quebec and found that not every sign was bilingual. They did well enough. Yeah, that is exactly... Yeah, you basically have to know both, which is interesting, because sometimes when I was okay, pause. When I was working at the pet store, I could always tell which we had a couple of Canadian companies that would send us products, and I could always tell which ones were Canadian, because most of our products had either just English or like English and Spanish on them. The Canadian products had English and French. Occasionally we would end up with one with all 3, and I never figured out exactly where those were coming from, but the Canadian ones were always English and French, so I knew exactly where it came from. It was very interesting. Which is also how I learned that LeBeouf, as in Shia LaBeouf's last name, is spelled exactly the same way as just the beef in French. I was like, okay, I knew that was the same pronunciation, and I should have realized that it was the same spelling, but it's the same fucking spelling. And that's the dude's actual name. It's not a stage name or anything. His name is literally just Shia the Beef. And I forget what Shia means, because that's Hebrew, and I'm not as... my Hebrew is not the best. It's there, but it's not wonderful. So okay, Deep Road's entrance. The seal holds. With the 5th Blight rumoured to be starting in Ferelden, most of the spawn will have moved east. I still hear scrabbling occasionally. Would they try to dig their way through? Perhaps they sense us. I recommend that we reinforce the barricades. Till then, so long as we stay vigilant, all should be well. From the writings of Caton, Grey Warden, dated 930 Dragon. To be real, in USA, everyone will expect you to know English and won't have a quick backup plan if you don't. Yes, accurate. So, like, we have no official language, but also, if you don't know English, it's gonna suck for you. And that has nothing to do with an official language. That has to do with, like, racist bullshit, mostly. Like, that's it. It's racist bullshit. Since we do not have an official language, really, it is completely unfair to expect everybody to know the most common language when they come here. Like, that's not feasible. That is unreasonable. Also, from what I've read, and I don't travel, so I don't know how much of this is true, but from what I've read, that's a pretty uniquely American thing, how rude people are about it if you are not super awesome at English. Because if you don't speak French and English and you go to Canada, nobody's gonna really give you shit about it. They're not as snobby. It's the same thing with, you know, from the impression that I get, pick a country and they're nicer about it if you don't know the official language. Americans and Brits are dicks if you don't know English. It sucks. It's bullshit. It doesn't make sense. It's rude. It's racist. I'm not gonna lie though. I'm pretty anti the British as a country, not the individuals, but like their government and their bullshit. Like, fuck the British, okay? I figure that their average citizens are about as into what their country is doing as the average American is, which is not very. But like, their government. I mean, I can't really talk. Unfortunately, we're in fucking... Oh, God, I hate everything about the government right now in America, because fuck Trump. You heard it here first. Or more likely last. But like... Ah, shrieks! 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 Fuck! That was a ghoul. It wasn't a shriek. It sounded like a shriek. I hate shrieks. It's fine. It wasn't a shriek. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Ah! Oh, I'm not dead. Well. I need a mage. Where are we at here? Where can I do this from? Do I have to be over here? I probably have to be over here. Yeah. I have to be over here and probably not in the middle of the fucking fight. God damn it. Alright. Also Indian too. It's Persia Iranian too. Grocery store has a sushi company and makes sushi in our kitchens. Sushi chef speaks very little English. We had a heck of a time communicating a new policy of adding shellfish allergy stickers to all the relevant packages. His wife is more fluent, so she was able to come in one day and explain. Nice. Turkish, don't care about Turkish language. For tourists, we lay the claims for English even though people can't speak that well. Yeah, that's... Yeah. Oh, I do have to be over there. Shit. Okay, better. Yay! Less dying. I hate Valeska's watch. Like, I love what you find, but also I hate this fucking mini dungeon. God. Ugh. Because you can't see where you're going, and then you fucking die, and it's the worst. Okay, there we go. Better. Alright. We got all the things, now we should be able to leave. Oh. Let's go. I'm glad I can have conversations going on with 5 hours of sleep. Yeah, I mean, I still think you should go to bed, but you know, you're doing fine. Honestly, you're speaking English better than I do on 5 hours of sleep. So, good on you. I try to talk if I've had 5 hours of sleep and it's like I can't form words and I can't type correctly. So it's just it is nearly impossible to talk to me. All right. We are about halfway through the map. If I go like area-wise, but I also know that pretty much the next couple of things that you end up having to do... I suppose I could go to the Tower of Bone and see if I can at least get to that, camp. So I suppose that would work. So we can go down here-ish. Yes. Wipe out the Red Templars at the Tower of Bone. So we can go down here. We can at least get that started. Because the interesting thing about this right now is that I'm at this weird spot in the plot where it's like there's a couple of things I can do from here, and one of them is going to take an hour, and I am like an hour and a half, and I'm not sure that I have enough time to do it today. But I can at least get to the Tower of Bone. Because that's like right here. I just have to go through some Red Templars. Yeah! Ouch. Fine, fuck you. Ouch! No! Denied! Let's go through the marksman. See if that helps. Tower of Bone, then play with armor crafting. That is the plan. Because I would also go Cradle of Sulavine, but that one takes even longer. So I have Suladin Keep in Employes de Leon to go through. I have the Cradle of Sulavine outside of Employes de Leon to go through. And then there's the actual quarry, which is in the south of the map, and that is going to be something that I'm going to get to on Friday. Friday, not Wednesday, because Wednesday I am not going to be streaming, because Wednesday I have that thing. Court
They seemed
words.
unaccustomed to seeing elves without servants' livery, or dwarves at all.
Priceless. That's definitely going in my next story.
Are you planning a chapter filled with courtly intrigue?
Close. I need to describe the face someone makes when they choke down something terrible.
Okay. I don't have them in my party often enough after I get other characters. Like, I love Varric, and I love Solus, and they're so much fun to have in my party. Especially since they are clearly at least kind of friends. Typing is hella better. Most people think this way because people in the net are introverts and can't have proper dialogues with people who aren't IRL friends. Do I agree? So, here we get back to, I'm autistic. Talking is hard for me a lot of the time, so I prefer to type because I am more likely to be able to get my point across. For, like, most people. There's some people that can read me really well and just almost never misunderstand me in person, and then they're hilariously the ones that misunderstand me when I'm typing. But, like, I find it easier to get my point across with most people if I'm typing than if I'm talking, because if I'm talking, a lot of people misunderstand me, unless they know me really well. But if I'm typing, people are less likely to misunderstand me, because I can just put in a stupid amount of detail instead of trying to be like, what is my face doing at this very moment? Is this going to be interpreted differently than I mean it? What is my tone of voice doing at this very moment? Is this going to be interpreted differently than I mean it? It's so stressful. It's not even that I'm an introvert, because I'm kind of not, because I talk a lot, but my tone of voice and my, like, I have resting bitch face like you would not believe. So, between that and the fact that my tone of voice is very direct, a lot of the time people take my tone differently than I mean it, so I get misunderstood a lot, so I prefer to type where nobody's gonna have that problem. I can't just come in this from the back way. Sigh. Yeah. Aw, man. No. Denied. Or do you mean, do I think that teenagers prefer to type as opposed to, like, personally? Because I don't know. I think that teenagers would rather see someone in person, but after the exhaustion that is, you know, class and homework and trying to function as an adult when they shouldn't have to yet, a lot of teenagers are like, this is exhausting, I need to type. I'm not going to go find someone in person because I'm exhausted, and I'm going to chat with them online, which is also a thing that I do. So, fair. I also work weird hours and don't really have much of a social life outside of the internet. Alien, so I understand you. My work hours are basically 3 to 8 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and then half of Saturday. That's my work schedule. It's fucking weird, and I basically, particularly during the semester right now, where I'm spending all day on Sunday working on, like, my notes or studying or whatever, what's a social life? I don't have one of those. So most of the socialization I get is at work, which is a very, very strange thing for me, because, like, don't get me wrong, I love my job, but also, like, I don't know, it feels weird. It's weird. Especially coming from, like, retail, because retail is just utter fucking hell, and that was most of my socialization, and I hated everything. Like, it sucked. I am an introvert, and I am very shy, and so much of being social assumes you have money to spend. Oh my god, Alien, right? So, I need a new car. I just had a meeting with 2 of my adult friends who have bought cars before, because I am at the point where trying to keep the car that I have functional and on the road and, you know, maintained and everything is costing more than just getting a new fucking car. Like, the $1,100 that I spent last week, I still don't have the entire thing because there's a couple of parts that my mechanic is waiting on so that he can put those in also. So this is probably going to be closer to $2,000 by the time I see the entire bill. So, and that's with nothing really wrong with the car. You know, it gets shit gas mileage at this point. It gets like 17 miles to the gallon, and I drive 30 miles a day. I cannot afford to keep this car. Whereas, you know, getting a new car, specifically looking at a Honda Fit, because I've wanted one since the first time I saw one in person. Specifically looking at a Honda Fit, with my credit score and what I make and what I would be not paying for gas, like, it's going to cost me about the same a month as it does to maintain this car. That is it. It will cost me so much less money to just get a new Honda Fit than to keep this 13-year-old SUV on the road, even though there's nothing really wrong with it. So, and I'm like, I was looking at my friends, and I'm like, I don't actually know if I can do this, but I don't have a choice either. And both of them, by the time we were done, both of them looked at me and went, no, you know what? You're actually in really good shape to do this. You are really smart with your money. You just don't have any. I was like, I know. That's the problem. I know. So... Autism you referred to cannot be what I've seen. Neighbor's kid, life is tough for those poor children who want to cry. So, the thing about autism, it is a spectrum disorder. So, for some people, it will affect every single part of their life. For some people, it affects less of their life. And for some people, like me, it affects things that people can't see. So, like, for me, it means that I am really not very good at expressing myself with, like, facial expressions and tone of voice and stuff like that everybody else just knows how to do, apparently. But that only, like, that just means that I come off as an asshole a lot of the time because I don't know how other people see me. Like, I cannot figure out how other people see me. So, that part, just, like, I sound like 3 times as much of an asshole as I am, I swear to God. That's how that affects me. It also means that, like, I will be able to express myself in words, in text, but I need more time to process what I'm reading. Like, I have, and I know this because I got a neuropsychological evaluation, like, over the summer, but I have a very large vocabulary. I have a lot of information in my head that I can, synthesize and get out, but it takes me a long time to figure out what people are asking of me correctly, which is sometimes why I have to ask you a question 3 and 4 times because I misunderstood what you said. This does not mean necessarily that your question didn't make sense. It means that I misunderstood it. Or it takes me no time to understand the question, but then it takes me a lot of time to figure out how I want to respond to that. So, like, it's really frustrating for me because it takes me a long time to be able to answer questions sometimes. If I'm not using the while speaking, it's flawless already. Is that a problem? No, because, like, first of all, sometimes I just pause or I stutter, so that takes the place of those placeholder words. But, like, for me, it's less about how much information I can get out at it. I also do things like that where I start a sentence and then I decide it's not correct, so I go back. So it sounds like I'm talking a lot more than I actually am, or at least it sounds like I'm getting a lot more information across than I actually am. But so as I so and repeat myself so that I'm filling time. I am a terrible public speaker, for the record, unless I have, like, written myself a script. I'm terrible at that because of the fact that I use so many space-filling words. But the other thing is, I sometimes have trouble figuring out how to get across the exact information that I want in a succinct manner. So I'll just talk about things for like 3 or 4 minutes that could have taken someone else 1 to get across the same information. That's because that's how my brain works. And it also means, so, like, I'm really terrible at writing essays, and I'm really terrible at, yes, over-explain everything so there's no chance of misunderstanding, because I'm always the one that misunderstands things. I have this conversation with one of my coworkers a lot. Unfortunately, he's leaving our dojo soon, because he's got another job, and it's a lot of stress on him, so it's, there's other factors, but that's one of the more important ones. So, like, he is really good at getting his point across to most of our students really quickly and really briefly, but I constantly misunderstand what he means. So I don't learn very much from him because I'm just misunderstanding him constantly. But a couple of the other instructors have figured out how to teach me so that I don't misunderstand them, because either they over-explain a lot anyway, or they say what they were gonna say, and then I go, hang on, do you mean this or do you mean this? And then they answer my question before moving on. So some people are really good at going through stuff like that, and some people are like, nope. It takes me longer to understand things, but once I understand them really well. So it takes me a lot of detail and a lot of thinking to understand something. Yes! Yes, Alien, I have this exact problem! What was the movie about? Entire plot. You could have just said they have to journey to Mordor to destroy the ring. Yes. So, and that was one of the things that came up during my neuropsych eval, was they were like, you are very superior in these several categories, and then your processing is average. Which is totally fine, but it is a significant enough discrepancy that makes a difference. So, like, I have a 126 IQ because that's being dragged down by how long it takes me to synthesize information and then also synthesize a response. So it like, I have to put the information together when it's coming into my head, and that takes me a real long time. And then it takes me just as long to dig through the information in my head and get it out of my mouth in a way that makes sense, which is why I'm really good at teaching adults, and I'm not, or small children, but a lot of the youth kids, like, they like me, but I don't get the same interest that some of my coworkers do. I'm going to read this Tower of Bone thing because it's still up on my screen and I've been talking for 5 minutes. Tower of Bone! The Tower of Bone is so named for the hundreds of human bones discovered in a hidden chamber beneath the flagstones. The bones were cremated in accordance with Chantry law and the chamber cleansed and sealed. Local tales of the tower and its grisly contents abound. Some believe Tevinters built the structure, reinforcing its foundations with blood magic. In other tales, elves built the tower. My favorite is particularly imaginative. In this story, a blood mage summoned a greater pride demon, who then possessed the entire tower. When the mage died, his sons were unable to control the demon, so they commissioned 8 monstrous iron chains, intended to hold it. The touch of the cold iron chain is the only thing holding the stone abomination in place. Should they break, the tower will pull itself off its foundations and walk, destroying everything in its path. That should have been Orlesian, and I don't care. Never took an IQ test. How does that work? Mine was part of the neuropsychological evaluation, so that was basically I got a psychologist to examine how my brain works so that I could get this diagnosis, so that I could go back to college and get the assistance that I need to function in a college situation. So how a non-neuropsych eval IQ test would work, I have no idea. I think we did one in high school, but it wasn't like that wasn't really a thing too much. So, alright, so I'm gonna briefly leave Employés de Lyon because the next things that I have to do are not gonna be quick. So we're gonna I think I just saved. I literally just saved, but whatever. We're gonna go back to Skyhold really quick, and I'm gonna take a look at some armor that I can craft. But you know, yeah. One of the things that the psych said when she was doing the testing over the summer was basically like, you can answer all of the questions, but also it's really difficult to get you to change subjects. Because I'm always like, no, but I'm missing details. I have to give you all of the details. You asked me a question. I need to give you all of the details. That's apparently not normal. That is an unusual trait as a general statement there. So, whoops. It means that I'm really good at answering weird little detail questions, but it also means that I'm really bad at answering questions that are supposed to be broader and quick. So, you know. I also have a lot of like I have a lot of texture things, like aversions to a texture and aversions to or like sometimes it'll be sensory seeking behavior, they call it. I will find something and I'll be like, this is soft, I'm gonna pet it for an hour. Like I get fixated on things. I'm not done explaining. You don't have all the context to fully understand. Yes, exactly. Yeah, this is why you and I understand each other, Alien, because same challenges. I keep getting this very same staff, and it's awesome, but also I've had like 5 of them. Promise of the Storm. Ooh, Night Slayer. Oh my gosh. Alright, we're at the point in the game where I'm finding the good stuff, and now I have to figure out what to get rid of. And this is really hard. Okay, so is this better than what I have? Not really. Berserk, 10% damage bonus, 100%. Plus 100% damage from all sources. No, we're not using that. This was important because symbolism and also calling back to the prequel and foreshadowing later events. Yep. Yep. I understand you. We'll give Cassandra that one. Get rid of that one. Keep that one for if I need to replenish before or after a dragon. Coal. What do you got? Because we got 114 plus 16 electricity. I'm going to strip that. We got 105 plus 16 electricity. We got 76, plus 32 damage versus living. But it's AoE. That's a dual blade dagger. I love those. They're not useful, though. I think I had an IQ test in elementary school, but it was too long ago for me to recall the details. Yeah, I seem to remember we did one in school at least once or twice, and the number stayed about the same, which it should, because it is your intelligence quotient. It is your ability to learn and deal with information, not like a test like you would have on, what have you learned about English or whatever. So it should stay about the same throughout your life. That's the idea. They wouldn't tell me my number. That sucks. That's awful. You have the right to know. Fight them. I'm also being incredibly dramatic here. What just... What? No, I pressed the wrong button. That's what happened. Fuck. Put that back. Yeah, okay. Anything that says Vitar, I no longer need. Ooh, the Curse of Morak. I didn't remember that I had that. 6 cunning, 6 dex. That's because I gave somebody else a fancier helmet, isn't it? 6 magic defense, 6 willpower. What? Did I give that to Cole? Is that what happened? I gave something to Cole and then it ended up being... No? Now I'm confused. Dex, magic defense, range defense, but he needs the melee. But that's also like 12 higher armor rating. Shit. He doesn't need that one. We'll give him that one. Fuck it. Get rid of the Venatori helmet. Cool. Solved. 5 cunning, 5 magic. Ditto. 6 magic defense, 6 willpower. Or I can give him 6 cunning, 6 dex. Because dex increases rogue's attack. I think willpower does that for everybody, though. Shit. But also 6 cunning. We'll go with it. Fuck it. Yay! Okay. Accessories. We had an Amulet of Power. For Vivienne. Okay. Sure. Now I will give you back your Enhanced Amulet of Magic. And then I will not deal with the accessories at this time, because, oh my god. Demons and Undead. I don't use Demon Slaying Runes, so I'm just gonna sell that, because fuck it. Oh, wait, I'm gonna save. Because if I don't save and then I sell a significant number of things, it's gonna crash my game. This has happened before. Yay! Okay. Alright. So what do I actually have? Gift of the Talons, 97. Oh, these are both 97. Okay, 97 damage. On hit, heal 1% of max health. 10% chance to use Hidden Blades on hit with 3 added hits. But 114. With a +8 dex, plus 5% crit chance, plus 14% armor penetration. These are so much better. But also, I don't want to lose those skills. Guard damage bonus, crit damage bonus, armor penetration. Oh, that's only 76, though. Alright, so I think I'm going to strip that one and get rid of him, and then figure this out later. Because I want to keep him with those skills. So if I can just, like, synthesize those onto something else later, I'm going to do that. Oh, not armor, dumbass. Weapons. So now I can get rid of that one. And that one. Yay. Cool. Save for now. Wiggly blades are super neat, and also they will literally just, like, eviscerate you with one hit. They're fucking ridiculous. Okay, so. The nice thing about this is that I should be able to just scroll up to whoever I'm at here and see how things would look. I should check the actual armor rating of the characters that I'm looking at, though. So she's got 262, 250, 215. I need to make Bull something nicer, apparently. 215. Because that's not a warrior number, really. And then Blackwall doesn't have anything because I took it off of him. Sarah, 234. Cole, 200. That's not very high either. And 200. So 200 basically for rogues. And then what do we got for 229? 205. 187. Oh, poor Dorian. Alright. I gotta just, like, make these poor bitches new armor, because it's late enough in the game that I need to just redo this with the actual decent, armor schematics and materials. Makeover time! I know. Like I said, I'm just gonna kind of get an idea of what I can do right now, because there's no point in me trying to take an hour or 3 to get this to look right, because I am the kind of person that's like, I'm going to make this perfect for this character, and then I'm going to make it look correct. So this is basically exactly what she's wearing, except I can make it better, because it's warrior armor. So let's check out what we can do with Silverite. That gets you 306, which is almost 100 better than what she's got. So that's good to know. Plate mail of Dragon Hunter. Refined Battlemaster coat. I like this one because it looks like something that Maleficent would wear, and that's pretty much... that's Vivienne. Vivienne is like a lawful evil version of Maleficent. Refined Battlemaster Mail, Superior Battlemaster Mail. These all have the same stats and same approximate look, so that's good to know. Let's see what I can get here, because that was 306. This one... it says restriction. There we go. That's how you remove the restriction. There was another one, though, wasn't there? No, okay. I just scrolled really fast and thought it left. Okay, it is specifically for the Silverite. Inquisition, everyone's morally gray. Okay, but I'll fight you on that one because... Dorian. Dorian is probably one of the only characters who is almost completely good. Except that he comes from Tevinter, so he's heard some nasty shit about, like, slaves, for example. But if you call him on it, he just kind of goes, I suppose you're right. Like, Dorian is absolutely a cinnamon roll. Varric is very morally gray because he's a rogue. All of the rogues are morally gray. It is required. And also, you know, when you have a rogue, they're like, no, I'm going to save my own. And that's what Varric does. So that makes sense. 280. Yeah, no, I'm putting her basically back in the same thing she's wearing, but upgraded. I only relatively recently found out that this was a thing that I could do, so... Oh, I don't have very much leather right now, I don't think. Let's see what we've got. Sunder when hit. I don't care about resistances. Sunder when hit again. Ranged defense. Sunder when hit. Ranged defense, Sunder when hit. That's basically it. I get ranged defense, Sunder when hit, fire resist, or cold resist. And I can also make it pretty later, so I can just do whatever for right now. Let's find one of the ones that was 21. 21% range defense, 21% Sunder when hit. Yeah, that is pretty much the best we're going to get. Sunder when hit or range defense. I think we'll go range defense for now. Yeah, that's what I thought, because I get the option to do it again. So we'll go Sunder when hit for the... Oh, that's why it's less. Ooh. That's a little bit tougher. I'll go 14%. Yeah. We'll do that. Heal bonus. Magic defense. Spirit resist. Fire resist. Magic defense. Better heal bonus. Spirit resist. Electrical. Magic defense. Heal bonus. Electrical. 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 Magic. Spirit. Magic. Magic. Electrical. This is going to be so ugly when I'm done with it. I will tint it, I promise. 14% magic defense, 12% magic defense. I wish I could sort these by, like, what tier they were and or the effect. So I can do magic defense if I do that one. And the Royale Sea Silk is really nice. So that one's 14%. Magic defense, 14. Or I could do a heal bonus. I think that's the best I can do for... Yeah, that's the best I can do for magic defense. But I could do... Of what I have, I can do magic defense or I can do heal bonus. And I'm a little bit torn, I'm not gonna lie. I have more of that, we'll go with that one. I'll go magic defense, because then I won't have to heal her in the first place. And then I can do... So here's another fun thing that I used to just straight up go for the ones that are like 40% chance of masterwork, 100% chance of masterwork. That one is going to be saved for the Inquisitor because fuck you, that's why. I used to go for the higher chance of masterwork every single time, but also when you go through the fade touched whatever, you get abilities cost 7.5% less mana or stamina, 7.5% extra damage for each enemy within 8 meters. 5% chance to cast Mind Blast on a hit. Extra focus. Increase max stamina. She doesn't have stamina, so that's not going to help. 20% focus gain. 50% faster movement speed when in stealth, which is great because she's also the one that I have wearing the Ring of Doubt, which is stealth for mages. But also, I don't care about that particular stat. Mind Blast on hit. Heal 15% of damage taken over 10 seconds. Max stamina. faster movement, 75% faster movement speed when in stealth, as opposed to the 50. 10% chance to heal for half health. That one is really useful. I love that one, especially with rogues, because rogues, I tend to play rogues as too tanky, and also rogues, I've noticed, are the most likely to die. But I mostly just want to give her that. I want to give her that, but I don't have it. Gain 2 guard. Chain lightning. 3 seconds of walking fortress, that's cool. Better damage heal. I just want to give her guard. Shield bash on a hit. Masterwork, 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 masterwork. Fine. I guess I'll give her 2 guard on a hit instead. It could be 3, but I have no obsidian. Except for that, which is not helpful. So alright, we'll do that. And you know what? That doesn't look anywhere near as bad as I expected it to. That actually looks kind of nice. And now we're going to look at Tali. And we're going to see just what this shit would look like. Oh my god. Okay, so the thing about most of the mage armor, the warrior armor, is that it's not pretty. I'm gonna put Vivienne in her new armor, and then I'm gonna save, and then I'm gonna briefly take off Tali's helmet. So 306 from 205. That's it. 10 dex, 10 magic, 12% melee defense. So that's what I did. So she doesn't get the melee defense this time because I couldn't give it to her, but it's literally exactly the same armor, but a different class and different materials. And they both look nice, weirdly enough. But it's 101 better armor rating because I made it with Silverite out of the warrior thing. Schematic, that's the word I was looking for. So we're going to save really quick. And then I'm going to take off Tali's helmet and just look at things that I could do. Just went out to take an online IQ test. Doubt the reliability. You should, because most of those are going to not be free. $126, same as me. Oh, that's why. I'm like, I took off your helmet. Why are you still wearing the helmet? So okay, the thing with a lot of the warrior armor is that like it's not pretty. Most of it is very like I really like the skin that shields for some characters, not my Inquisitor because it's not super flattering. But it looks really good on Vivienne, for example. High IQ is harmful. What? It just means you're really smart and have the ability to learn things really well. I really like the look of the plate mail of the Dragon Hunter because it's a nice balance between this is pretty and this is really functional. But like the Legion of the Dead armor, it's nice looking for functional armor, but it's mostly function. These are ugly as hell. Ugly. Ugly. Well, no, that's not fair. I really like that one on elves. I like it a little tiny bit less on my dwarf. But she can't wear the Templar armor, so that put her back in what she's wearing now. So like these are honestly kind of boring. I like the Warden armor, but not on a dwarf because... No, you know what? I just like the Warden armor. I take it back. Because I was going to say, a lot of this stuff looks nicer on, like, slenderer models, but the Warden armor just looks really nice. And then a bunch of stuff she can't wear. So, what if, instead, I look at some of this. Some of those look the same. This shit's ugly no matter who's wearing it, but that is surprisingly bad on a woman. Okay. That's good to know. Children with above 150 IQ all have trouble, quote, being a child or being, quote, normal. Okay, but that's not the only thing that's going to do that to someone. Not being the same is going to be a challenge no matter what. So everything that has a lot of pros comes with the con of kids are assholes sometimes. That's it. Warden, Battle Mage Armor! Oh my god, I could give her Battle Mage Armor if I crafted it out of Dale's Loden Wool. There's no point. I really like the look of the Battle Mage Armor, though. I'm not gonna make her stuff, but I gotta look. And then there's a bunch of stuff she can't wear. Oh, that one's kind of cute. It's all short. It's the same thing that she wears riding around Skyhold. And that one's not as bad as it could be. Okay. Cool. Good to know. High IQ can be isolating and come with high expectations that you can't meet, which can lead to feelings of failure. Yes, definitely. Like, so that part, and here's where I differ from some people. I was in all of the gifted classes, is what they called them. Gifted and honors classes when I was in school, because I was capable, and I have the high IQ so that I could do things that, you know, had those high expectations. So, you know, when I suddenly stopped being able to do those things, you know, like in the real world, it sucked. So I know, but also, like, by the time you're an adult, like, there comes a time at which you're like, I'm done dealing with people that suck, and that's just basically how you have to look at it. There's gonna be cons to no matter what strength you have, someone's gonna be a dick about it. You're better at this than I am. I hate you. Okay. You're a dick. I'm done. You know, that's... You're never gonna end up in a place where everyone likes you. It sucks, but that's how it works. The gifted and talented Fallout effect. Exactly. I really like this armor. I like the plate mail of the Dragon Hunter in general. It's really cool. It's got the Inquisition eyeball on your chest, but the Legion of the Dead armor is something that you don't get to wear if you're not a dwarf. So I might just make her the Legion of the Dead armor because it's really nice. But also, you don't... Like, I want to be able to see how cute she is, and you can't in, like, 90% of these. Like, if I made her this stuff, you can kind of see, but also that the stats just tank. So I'm now like, why? It's terrible. She's so cute, and you can't tell. I might make her Legion of the Dead armor. Plate mail of the Dragon Hunter has better stats, but like I said, this is exclusive to dwarves. You really don't get much that's exclusive to dwarves. Part of my frustration with math is wanting an instant answer. I need time to make sure the answer is correct. Yeah, and that's part of the reason I'm really good at math, is because, like, I have a very... I apparently have a math brain, which is really kind of frustrating because I'm a language person. But, like, it means that I have the ability to look at things and go, you know, the way that I would say this is different than the way that you would say this because logical reason. So I can just logic my way through things a lot of the time, and that's because math brain. Let's make sure that she's wearing her helmet again. Yes. So stuff like that is, you know, there's pros and cons to all of it. So my understanding of language is really good, but it means, like, I understand language differently than your typical, like, English or language person because I'm just logicking at it until it's in my head. That's all I know how to do because of the way my brain works. I have a math and logic brain, and I'm trying to use it to English and math. I mean, to English and art. And, you know, for different reasons, having a math brain really helps with art because it means that I can visualize some things more easily, but I don't visualize things the same way that most art people would because they have, you know, they have a different kind of visual brain. And, you know, my sibling has an English language brain, so when I say things that I think make perfect sense, they're like, what does that even mean? Because they don't think of things the same way I do because I have a logic brain, and they don't.
The Inquisitor's work is never done, I see.
And I do need a lot of time to double check everything that I do. So it's frustrating sometimes. And it's also very frustrating when like you can figure out how to fix something which is not your job, and because it is someone else's job, they do it, but they don't do it correctly. And it's just like, I could have done this better in less time. Please let me do the thing. So it's I have a very organizational kind of brain, which does not mean that I am organized. Don't get me wrong. But I know how to arrange things so that I can make them easier for myself, and not everybody can do that. So it's weird, and it gets really frustrating after a while. Elite clientele. Buy and sell for 15% better prices. Let's go for it. Let's do that, because one of the things that I'm doing this time, this playthrough, is the Black Emporium. I went to the Black Emporium, MH. I'm paying attention. Hooray! We have protected Valgamord from Darkspawn. Now we have to find the source of the Darkspawn attacks. Inquisitor, that is from Cullen. So, Inquisitor, the Grey Wardens fought bravely and with great skill. The town of Valgamord was saved, and the Wardens themselves took few casualties. They await further commands. Commander Cullen. So, and I'm googling this as I speak, because there is a very specific order to do this in, so that you retain the highest amount of Grey Wardens. So for this one, we want Leliana, which makes sense. Find source of Darkspawn attacks, we want Leliana, but I think she's still in the middle of stuff. So, because I think that's her. Nope, that's Josephine. Hang on. What's Leliana doing? Is Leliana doing anything? We might be able to do this. I don't care about Employees de Leon resources. Go away. That's the Cradle of Sulavine. Rumors of the Sulavine Blade. We're gonna go. But not today. Find source of Darkspawn attacks. Leliana is not busy. Fantastic. This is an Orlesian Grey Warden. Inquisitor, the Darkspawn at Valgamord have been slain, but it remains unclear what brought these creatures to the surface. There is no obvious sign, and I am concerned that they might still pose a danger. Marquise Buffon has made clear her wishes that we now depart, which leaves me even more suspicious, as most would welcome further help in these dangerous times. The Grey Wardens have volunteered to assist with the investigation of this mystery in whatever capacity the Inquisition deems most fitting. We await your orders. Yours, Lieutenant Suzanne Clochesec. So we could go with Josephine. We won't, but we could. Someone may have been mining the area and freed the Darkspawn that way. Let me examine the finances of nobles nearby. Or if we go with Cullen, let the Wardens spread out, scour the area. They'll find out where those Darkspawn are coming from soon enough. Okay, but we don't want to risk them. The Blight is many things, but it is not subtle. My scouts can easily track the corruption to its source. So we're gonna go with Leliana. I can't talk. I think that is also where I am going to call it for today. I did not quite hit 3 hours, but also I gotta go eat and get ready for work and all that nonsense. So, I'm gonna save. I said I'm gonna save. God damn it. There we go. So, I am not gonna be streaming on Wednesday. I will not see you guys on Wednesday. I got stuff. I did a dumb... So I gotta go to court and be like, please don't make me pay all of this parking or this speeding ticket because I'm a really good driver. Please let me just pay the fee instead. So that's where I'm going to be on Wednesday. I will not be streaming. So I will be back on Friday. We're going to keep going with Emprise de Lyon. I do not expect us to finish Emprise de Lyon with enough time to go to the Cradle of Soulevine because there's a couple of longer things that you gotta do in Emprise. We gotta take out a keep. We gotta take down Suladin Keep, so we won't have time to go find the Soulevine blade. Best of luck for Wednesday. Thank you very much. I shouldn't need luck because it's literally just I walk in, I go, look at my record. You have it. I have not gotten a ticket in 6 years, and if I haven't gotten a ticket in 3 years, I get to say, good driving statute. Please let me just pay the fee. So I mean, thank you for the luck. I will accept this because good luck never hurts, but I shouldn't need it, hopefully. But thank you. So, I'm going to call it here. I have a Twitter. That is where I put all of my updates for... Uh-oh. My bot is asleep. Hang on. Let's try that again. Twitter. There we go. Moobot is awake again. So, I have a Twitter. That is where I put all of my updates for what I'm streaming, when I'm not streaming. And if I have a poll on like, hey, do we want to do this thing or this thing? It will go on Twitter. I also have a very small Discord channel, Discord server. It is very small as of yet. There's only a few of us that hang out there, but we are very friendly. We will welcome more folk to come in. And, you know, the more people we have there, the more we will be able to welcome more people. You can also, if you like, yes, definitely follow. I am close to 50 followers, and if I get up to 50 followers and I make affiliate, I can have some emotes for if anybody wants to subscribe at that time. But we'll get there. More important that I have the viewers than that I have the followers at the moment because, you know, Inquisition doesn't attract too many people, unfortunately. So, if you like what I am doing, if you want to try to make it a little bit nicer, I also have a Ko-fi account. Currently, all of that is going towards me getting a capture card and a stream deck. So, I am some small percentage of the way there. I have to buy a car, so that's going to be something that I need to kind of recover from initially before I get stuff going for getting that stream deck and capture card. But I also have a bit of time before that is going to be funded, so that's a thing. So, let's see who's streaming right now, because I think I saw that Avery and Fox Scribbles are both streaming. So who do we want to raid? Oh, this is tough. I usually go for the person with fewer viewers, but Avery is streaming Dark Souls. Avery's got 3 viewers right now, but but is streaming Dark Souls, and Fox Scribbles is streaming Inquisition with their evil Inquisitor. They've got 4 viewers, so I think we're gonna go raid Fox Scribbles and go appreciate the evil Inquisitor Bobo Adar, because he is a work of art. So let's go say hi to Fox Scribbles. I'm gonna go eat lunch and get ready for work and things. I will see y'all on Friday, I hope. Have an excellent couple of days. I will be back another day. Have a fantastic day. Gotta wait for the raid to pop up, cause I'm that with it today. Okay, have a good one. I am out of here. For real this time.